Taylor, broadcasting live from Naples, Florida. Morry is the CEO of Titan International, probably the world's largest manufacturer of tires and wheels. Huh, Morry?
For the farm and construction. That is true.
Great.
Well, we got it's been a very interesting week. There's a lot of comments out there, and we're going to start right off today with another CEO decided to, speak up and move away from the politically correct. And basically, the chairman of Gallup, a very respected research and polling firm, said this week that the official unemployment rate is underestimated and a big lie.
A big lie.
Perpetuated by
Is
the
that what
White
he said?
House.
It was a
big lie. Big lie.
Wow.
Now, you got to stop and, he turns around and you got to have yourself upset. To get into later, which will be about Brian Williams. So all of our listeners should understand that, they just feed us BS. Anyhow, back to what Clifton had to say. The story is so fake. And what he stated was the media loves a comeback story. And I guess they decided to roll plan. The White House wants to score these political points. Wall Street would like to have you stay in the market.
Yeah.
So they're going to tell you how the Americans out of work for the last 4 weeks dropped. Only
So they don't even count you if you've been out of work 4 weeks?
You got it. Like Clifton said, these people were unemployed as anyone possibly can be. He's also not counting the people who have part-time jobs but are looking for full-time work, and is also another mistake. His estimates from Gallup are that 30 million Americans in these two categories are not included. He says the percentage of full-time jobs, that's all of us Americans, if you look at it, is the lowest in American history.
That's a big number.
It's a big lie. It's a big lie. And, when you go out there, middle America, and you're seeing, they're trying to talk, you read the papers today, oh, you're going to have big wages. You cannot. They've screwed it up. And I'll be fair. I don't think anybody's put as much BS out as what Obama and his group are. But there's blame enough, folks, to go back years. This has been happening for quite a while. And I'm referring to what's been going on in reference to us losing our jobs and good paying jobs. And, whether you want to start talking about professors and universities and the intellectual elite, the jobs for the working men and women of this country have really dropped, kid. All over the place.
We had a jobs report on Friday that the White House again hailed as, we're recovered and everything. I thought it was interesting that the number one sector where jobs were growing was retail. And nothing against people that work in retail, but I don't really see that as a high-paying job.
It does not. It does not. Then moving from there, the trade deficit grew. In December, the deficit grew to its largest deficit in more than 2 years. Now, the Commerce Department said this trade deficit jumped 17.1% to 46.6 billion, the largest percentage increase since 2009. When you think about it, folks, last week or the week before, it came out that the amount of oil had dropped for importation of oil. So you think of all the oil that we have discovered through cracking and we're pumping. All of that, of course, is against what the Obama team has been for, even though he did decide and take a little credit for it, which everyone knows that's a joke. But when you think about it, we've reduced oil imports, but our deficit grew. It just jumped. Well, you got to say, what's happening there? And the unemployment benefits jumped 11,000. So, you know, you've got to understand what's going on, folks. And what is going to happen is the rest of the world now, especially Europe, is going down. They got big problems. And their problems are really no different than some of ours. And it all comes to what you do with trade. What in the hell is the U.S. government giving illegals work permits? Number one, it's against the law. Okay? So he's issued that, and this is above and beyond the $5 million that he's going to give. So this is his executive. I have a pen. I have a pen. Well, he's been writing, or someone's been writing with his pen. I have a pen. Okay?
Sounds like they've been having that pen working for a while here.
He's had it working. 5.5 million. Now, you think about that. They got jobs, and they took jobs from people who now are collecting unemployment.
Yep.
So, and they're illegal. And he's going to give another $5 million. And have you heard anything about this from NBC, CBS, ABC? Nope. Because they're too busy thinking up stories. They're trying to write books or something. Well, maybe they should ask Hillary.
These work permits, doesn't that just promote illegal immigration?
It just brings them all in. Brings them all in. And it's so sickening. Another million of these work permits were issued to illegal aliens or unqualified for admission. A vast majority who entered the country illegally. Now, they have some 1.2 million were issued to aliens on tourist visa. Oh, you're here on a tourist visa. Oh, but you really want to go get this job? Okay.
I thought that was part of the tourist visa. You couldn't work.
You got it. Foreign students, dependents of students, and guest workers, all who are not authorized for employment by law. This secret executive branch immigration program not only does it promote illegal immigration, makes a mockery of our legal system, reduces the job opportunities, of course, for the U.S. workers. But who gives a damn about the U.S. workers?
Well,
I mean, Obama don't. They don't give a damn, you know, because they're going to get driver's license and other benefits.
You know, once they get that work permit, they're entitled to all those driver's license and welfare benefits and all that.
I just wonder if we could go get a bunch of professors from India and China. I know over there they don't make as much money, and we could just put them all into all the universities, throw out the ones we got, man, we would really save a lot of money. We could pay them maybe 20 grand a year, and then price of college would really drop. But we know that would be a protest.
So unless Congress acts, Morry, you're telling me that in the last 6 years, we're going to have 10.5 million illegal aliens get work permits in this country.
Yep, that's 6 years. In 6 years, that's what we'll have.
That's the Obama administration.
Yep, and when you have to wonder. I appreciate politics enters a lot of everything, but when you turn around, the Republicans, the voters put the Republicans in, and I appreciate the fact that they wanted to have enough time to get going, so they gave Obama and the Democrats the budget for this year. So when you hear them talking about money, they're talking about next October, okay? They've already funded everything. So
yeah, that's next year.
But they're trying to get along. Screw getting along. Cut the friggin' money.
I'm in agreement.
And then if push comes, remember when old Harry Reid did the nuclear deal? Well, they got to compromise. If you're going to change some money, we need 60 votes. But if you noticed, Harry, he didn't really give a damn. He wanted it, everybody vote. So he changed the rules. So
that's how they
Republican got that. Mitch, baby, don't you be sitting there saying, oh, we're not going to do that. Take it down. Cut the debate off. Show them who they are, but don't let them just tie it up. We heard enough from the Democrats. They started it. Stick it down their throat. Put it for Obama's got it. Hey, maybe he'll run out of ink. Don't give him no more ink for his pen.
Better cut the pen.
He won't
supply
spend
off.
a penny.
If you've got an opinion about this illegal immigration, or you got a question for Morry, give us a call at 855-984-7499. Give us a call at 855-98-GRIZZ. That's Grizz with 2 Z's.
Yep.
Morry, we're going to be coming back here in about 10 seconds.
Well, you come on back, folks,
back
because
next.
I'm going to tell you how all the things we just told you, they need more money, the immigrants. Don't worry. Your friends at the IRS, they got Obama's stash. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Mark Andel, owner of the Made in America store. Together, we can help grow our economy and create jobs for Americans by buying products made right here in the United States. Visit MadeInAmericaStore.com, featuring thousands of 100% American-made products from all American materials and labor. They are the highest quality products available. We've inspired a Buy American movement that is creating and saving American jobs every day and keeping our money here instead of sending it overseas. So are you tired of lip service? Let our government know what really matters to the American people. Creating jobs matters. Manufacturing matters. Made in America matters. After 4 years in business and countless jobs created through our 400-plus suppliers, we've built a simple working model to strengthen our economy. It's a proven fact. Made in America matters because China is a long drive to work. Shop online at MadeInAmericaStore.com or connect with us on Facebook.
In addition to offering up his weekly dose of good old Grizz sense, Morry the Grizz Taylor doubles as CEO of Titan Tire, the world's largest farm tire manufacturer, producers of Goodyear and Titan farm tires. Morry wants all you farmers in GrizzNation to listen up. If you need to get into your field and it's all too wet, call 1-800-USA-BEAR or your Deere or Case IH dealer. Titan Tire is bringing new technology to farmers, and Titan's low sidewall technology means no more power hop or road low and less compaction. Say goodbye to the beach balls and same old tires from 20 to 30 years ago. It's time to welcome Goodyear LSW to your fields. Call your dealer or 1-800-USA-BEAR today to find out how you can save money and time this harvest. And tell them the Grizz sent you.
back. Now, nobody in Washington is safe. Dial 855-98-GRIZZ to join the conversation. Now, here's Morry Taylor, the Grizz.
Welcome back. And we're up for break. We were talking and telling you how Obama's goal is a little over 10 million illegal aliens. He's going to give them their work permits and everything. But this week, IRS announced that all of the illegal immigrants will be granted amnesty by Obama. They're going to get extra funds from the IRS
Refund.
for money they've earned while working illegally.
Now, hold it. You're telling me that they're going to get refunds for working illegally?
Hey,
How does that work?
I believe it's any way Obama wants to. He just wants to give them stash. And to that councilwoman in Detroit, Michigan, who you wanted Obama to give you some stash, and it was a little hard to do that, I just want you to think about why you voted for him. Because he doesn't care about you. He don't care about those in Detroit. He doesn't care about any of us. He's just going to help all the illegal aliens. Now, under this amnesty program, illegal aliens will be given Social Security numbers and then allowed to amend 3 years of previous filings, get this, to claim their earned income tax credit. My gosh. You know, IRS will just, if it's not in the rule book, they'll just totally burn you. But now, they can't get, I tell you what,
They don't have any idea what this will cost, do they?
they have no idea. They've already admitted they have no idea. But that's not all. In 2010, IRS paid $4.2 billion to illegal immigrants who claimed the additional child tax credit. Now,
How did they know if they had children?
well, I guess it's just like the ones in prison that they turn around and send them extra checks too. They've got. We're almost better if they spend all their time at the IRS in Las Vegas, and we sit there and let them take a few baths and showers, hot tubs, read a little porn, and drink a little wine, some whiskey.
You're talking about a
We're
little
better
party
off if we
there.
take the whole government and just move them to Las Vegas and just become a funny land.
Morry, I
So-
see we're going to talk about the EPA coming up next, but I think we have Shay on the line. That's a female from New Orleans.
Hi, Shay. How are you?
She's got a question for us.
Shay?
Okay, it's apparent the EPA wants to do away with coal. Are these green technologies ready to replace the 40% of power that we currently get from coal?
No way, dear. They don't want to tell you. The other week we were talking about it, and the problem is that this other energy that the intellectuals wish, it basically costs 10 times more. All this renewable energy costs 10 times more than the cost of our current coal. So when you hear all these people, oh, we got to do this. Well, what we really should do is we should have them all sign up, and then we'll just charge them 10 times more for all their energy, for their
I don't think
habit.
they're going to want to pay that. They want all these subsidies,
No,
Morry.
they want everybody else to do it. But
They want
your
everybody else
question-
to pay for their green energy.
Your question, my dear, is a simple one. All you have to do is go to Europe, and you can see in Europe how much gas costs. So then that's why they have these little teeny cars. That's why, they turn around and they all crowd into buses because you can't afford the other. And of course, that's also why their countries are in deep dodo too. So,
Well, if you'd like to talk about the EPA or any other thing, subject that we're talking about today, or got a question for Morry, give us a call at 855-984-7499. We'd love to hear from you.
but on the question we just had, the EPA is proposing to give $4 billion to the various states who go to war on coal. Included in the president's budget was $4 billion incentive for states to take even more radical steps than Obama on his war on coal.
So if they exceed the guidelines he's proposed, they could get up to $4 billion.
You got it. And
Billion here, billion there. Talking about some money pretty soon.
Yep. And it's like an effort, folks. Put lipstick on a pig. The congressional Republicans say they're going to fight it back. Let's just hope they have the guts, the common sense to do so. The problem everybody has to understand is the bureaucracy is running off pretty much on its own. And, it did under, I'll be honest, under President Bush's. Reagan took a little crack at it. The Bushes didn't touch anything. Neither did Clinton. And, of course, Obama, he just opened up the gates. For all we know, 500,000 of those illegal aliens are working for our government.
Well, we got an email from Jackson in Kansas City, and he's talking about the illegal immigrants that we were just talking about. And his question is, how can they hide all these IRS tax benefits for illegal aliens? I haven't heard a word about it. Where's the media? Talking about how great it's going to be when Hillary's president.
Well, first thing is, I don't think, I appreciate that the media loves Hillary. They loved Obama more.
Certainly.
We've had 8 years of Obama. As I said many times, there's a lot of my fellow Americans out there that I can tell you, I can understand why you voted for him first time. The second time, I think that it proved an awful lot of you will buy a lot of stuff second time, and that's almost called stupid, but that's what Gerber called you, stupid. I don't think the public is, if Hillary even runs, I don't think that they're going for, Obama double down. I mean, that's my own personal opinion. She's never run anything. She used a lot of government money, fly her around, first lady. She got an $8 million book signing deal for her book, leaving the White House.
Flat broke.
It's flat broke, man. We're broken American people. That's why we had to borrow some of the furniture and plates from. She gave them back, though. We gave them back.
Morry, we got a call.
News.
We got a call from Jim in Houston, Texas, and he wants to talk about why the Republicans aren't doing more about that. Jim, you with us?
Hello, Jim.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Yep. What you got?
Yeah, like you said, you were just talking about amnesty earlier, and I was kind of wondering if you, that now that the Republicans are controlling Congress, if they could do anything to push back against that.
Well, yeah, Jim. I think the Republicans can do a lot. But the first thing they got to do, and is what they said in the campaign. Elect us and let us take the purse strings. Well, now everybody has to understand they don't have a hold of the purse until next October. Because after the election, the lame duck boys were there. And so Harry conceded a couple things. And they turned around and they passed the budget, which is umpteen trillion, that they gave Obama. So the government's got all the money except for Homeland Security. And now the press and everybody's beating him up. I don't know why. They ought to just turn around and hopefully our new freshman senator from Iowa, she'll bring her little pig castrating tools to the Senate. There's a couple of old ones in there she could help along. But
talking about Joni Ernst, right?
You got it. Joni's their girl. But really what they have to do is they can pass the new budget and they can turn around, and when they do it, they can just, take the funds away.
Well, Morry, it seems like...
And they better do it. They better do it. If they don't do it, they're not going to get voted in again. And that's the shame of everything because of what's going on. So you have to turn around and, get tough. And the big thing is all Americans got to get tough too. And what I mean by that is all you do if you take 4 minutes, get on every telephone book or whether you Google, whatever you do, quite obvious on this podcast, you're good with a computer. Get your senators. Hell, pick a bunch of them. Don't just pick who's in your state, but let them know. And just, hey, I tell you, you start flooding them with all the emails, all the texts, then somebody starts telling them they got a problem. They got a problem. If nobody lets them know, then they listen to all the media pundits, okay? And that's the story, and that's what you got to do. So, don't give up, my friend.
We want to hear from you as well at 855-984-7499. Give us a call or tweet us. We're on Twitter, and we're sending out some tweets right now. And if you got a response, get that back to us, and we'll read it on the air for you. Now, we got about 30 seconds before the break. Where are we going?
Yeah, we're going on campaign promises. We've been talking about that. So we want to, when the break comes back, we're going to start talking about, how many votes they got, what they got, and what they got to do. And if what they said when they took their oath, they got to start thinking about the working men and women. Until then, we'll let you go. We'll see you right back after.
Give us a call, 855-984-7499.
There's old people walking through there.
Hi, I'm Mark Andel, owner of the Made in America store. Together we can help grow our economy and create jobs for Americans by buying products made right here in the United States. Visit madeinamericastore.com, featuring thousands of 100% American-made products from all American materials and labor. They are the highest quality products available. We've inspired a Buy American movement that is creating and saving American jobs every day and keeping our money here instead of sending it overseas. So are you tired of lip service? Let our government know what really matters to the American people. Creating jobs matters. Manufacturing matters. Made in America matters. After 4 years in business and countless jobs created through our 400-plus suppliers, we've built a simple working model to strengthen our economy. It's a proven fact. Made in America matters because China is a long drive to work. Shop online at madeinamericastore.com or connect with us on Facebook.
More than half of U.S. children and adults have never received music education, although 68% think it's important, according to a new poll commissioned by Primrose Schools. Early, consistent exposure to music has been found to support musical ability, language development, motor coordination, social skills, and learning. Visit justaskaprimrosemom.com to hear what moms are saying about Primrose Schools' new partnership with the Music Class, an international early childhood music education company.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Ovaltine. Give your kids the nutrition they need to be their best. Visit us at ovaltineusa.com. Telling your child about healthy food choices is important, but showing her what to eat goes a lot further. Have her help create the grocery list, then bring her to the store with you. Picking out healthy foods together helps kids get in the habit of thinking about what they're eating every day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
back to GrizzNation. Think it's bad now? You ain't seen nothing yet. Just dial 855-98-GRIZZ to ask the Grizz.
Frank, we told you we're going to talk a little bit about the Republicans are making good on their campaign promises.
When you finish this up, I got a question for you.
All right. And what really happened is the Republicans did take a vote. I think almost everybody out there campaigned on Obamacare. So they voted 239 to 136 to repeal Obama's health care law. Now, let me tell you why. This whole health care, the Democrats cut a deal with the insurance companies, the drug companies. The only ones that didn't get a deal, yeah, you got it. The working, you get this, America. The working people of this country did not get anything. The working people. If you're an illegal immigrant, you found out what happened there. You're getting everything. All right? It's almost like there's, in fact, you should have known this when Obama, as soon as he was elected, he went on an apology tour. You see, the intellectual elitists, they think America is bad. That's really, as Obama says, we're not exceptional. We haven't, our forefathers didn't do anything. Yeah? Well, you know it, and I know it. They did. So, what happened? That gave a chance. Now, everybody says, well, the Senate. Well, that's BS. There's 54 votes in the Senate. So, all McConnell has to do, folks, he can change. Go to the nuclear option.
That's what the Democrats did.
Democrats did it, but no. Mitch, you better do it, or all you other senators Republican better turn around and get in an uproar. Now, you see what happens? You only need a few that take, because the Senate is precious. The only stupid fools that believe that are stupid and fools. It was, but the Democrats broke it. It's like trying to talk to the terrorists, ISA. I've said it many times. Boom. Put a bullet in their head. They understand that. Anything else, they don't understand, because they're going to put a bullet in yours. So,
okay, Morty,
what we got to do,
we got control of the House and the Senate.
Yep.
And why can't the Republicans stop him writing these executive orders and letting all these illegals in and giving them work permits? When are we going to shut this stuff down? I thought that was the election was all about.
Well, first thing is you got three branches of government, okay? And the situation is that the Supremes, and everybody has to understand, they're all politicians too. Don't ever think our court system is not floating around with politics. If you don't believe that, all you got to do is look at the Ninth Circuit of Appeals out there. That's where California is. You got more wacko decisions than you can ever think of. So the Supremes are going to have to turn around, and they're going to make some more rules, okay? And it would be nice if they just read the Constitution, you see? But they have a little bit of a problem, and they want to interpret things into modern day. And they can, the only thing Congress has the power to do is the power of money. And they've already given them the money, and let's give them a break. That was done that was done between November and January when the new Congress took over. So, and you notice Obama signed that with his pen real quick.
Yeah, I think
That's the only one they did. It's the only one they did, too, in all the time he was here. So, what they have to do now is you're going to listen to all this talk, but because it went through, they don't really have the purse strings. They have them on the homeland, and they should just pass the extended or let it shut down. That, I mean, you know, you're going to hear every newspaper, everybody screaming about that. But why not? He's got enough. They've had the money. He's taken Homeland Security's border control. So now you've got them down there being shrinks and paper pushers for amnesty. So, you know, just shut the budget off.
Morry, the calls are lighting up here and stacking up on us.
Let's go.
Let's see. Can we go to Keith in Pennsylvania first? He's talking about these illegal aliens.
Hi, Keith.
Keith?
Hello.
Hello?
You got
Keith?
the Grizz. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm like actually watching the show, but
Oh,
Okay,
Did you
Keith.
call for a question or not?
oh yeah, okay. I have a question for the Grizz. I guess you're screening it. It's not okay. That's cool. Are you recording this so you can like tell the message?
No, you are live right now,
You're
Keith
live.
in Pennsylvania.
It's live, so go ahead.
Maybe we need...
Here we go.
I'm here.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
You got us.
Okay.
Hello, Grizz.
You got me. This is Morry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Just a quick story and then a question.
Shoot.
Yeah, no, I called for a question, but a quick story. A couple of years ago, I got laid off from a very cool job, and I got to work as a custodian, teacher's aide, food service worker. Yeah, and what I learned about that is that some of those elementary school teachers and middle school teachers and things like that make between $7.50 and $10.
You're breaking up.
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay. I heard 7 and 10.50. That's all I heard.
Keith, could you get to your question?
Okay, well, they make about $10 an hour, and it's pretty difficult to live on that with a family and waste your time working after taxes. How do you increase wages for teachers and lower paid people who are illegal aliens working for lower wages?
Well, first thing is that if you've got, I'm not supportive of having illegal aliens work, okay? But if you keep bringing in and the government turns a blind eye, then what happens is you're just flooding the market. I mean, it's so simple. If you think about it, look at foreign countries that got, you know, a zillion people. Look at Mexico. They got a zillion people. Those people work hard too. But there's so many people for just a few jobs. So the wages all stay down. It's just, in this country, we've been able to build a demand. If you build a demand, wages go up. And you're right. $7, $10, I don't know which school is paying that, but that's awful cheap. And, you know, there's I don't know if it's a private school or what, wherever. Any job is good, but I would think that if a qualified teacher is surely going to make more than $7-10 an hour.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And they should earn more. And when you turn around, and plus it's a great profession, and if you notice anything, since the federal government got in, it's gotten all screwed up. So, you know, I appreciate the fact that, like you said, you were laid off from a job and you got another job. All jobs are important. And I assure you that as you worked and you continued, you know, you should have the opportunity to move up. But if there's not enough people and it's hard to find someone, then you're going to pay that person more and more money as you keep going. And that's how the upward mobility of paying wages go. It does not go, to give you an idea, you've got the dock workers out in California, longshoremen, on basically slow down or whatever you want to call it. But you see, that's not a fair system out there. They're making on an average, I think, around $120,000. But you see, you only get new when one retires. They keep it within the family. It's not really open, even though it's basically, contracted with the government and independent. So there's good and there's bad, but that's just how I see it. And you're never going to get on the lower end in this country wages to come up unless you have an immigration policy and you control the flood of import, because everybody wants to come here. This is the market. That's why, you can't let foreign government. China floods our market with stuff. So does India. And now you say, oh, well, how are they? Well, simple. Big business is big business. They'll move factories if it's cheaper over there, and there's no cost to ship it in. That's the whole thing.
Wayne, if you'll hang on, we'll take your call as soon as we get back. As soon as we get back. But give us a call at 855-984-7499. Give us a call and give us your opinion.
In addition to offering up his weekly dose of good old Grizz sense, Morry the Grizz Taylor doubles as CEO of Titan Tire, the world's largest farm tire manufacturer, producers of Goodyear and Titan farm tires. Morry wants all you farmers in GrizzNation to listen up. If you need to get into your field and it's all too wet, call 1-800-USA-BEAR or your Deere or Case IH dealer. Titan Tire is bringing new technology to farmers, and Titan's low sidewall technology means no more power hop or road low and less compaction. Say goodbye to the beach balls and same old tires from 20 to 30 years ago. It's time to welcome Goodyear LSW to your fields. Call your dealer or 1-800-USA-BEAR today to find out how you can save money and time this harvest. And tell them the Grizz sent you.
Hi, I'm Mark Andel, owner of the Made in America store. Together, we can help grow our economy and create jobs for Americans by buying products made right here in the United States. Visit MadeInAmericaStore.com, featuring thousands of 100% American-made products from all American materials and labor. They are the highest quality products available. We've inspired a Buy American movement that is creating and saving American jobs every day and keeping our money here instead of sending it overseas. So are you tired of lip service? Let our government know what really matters to the American people. Creating jobs matters. Manufacturing matters. Made in America matters. After 4 years in business and countless jobs created through our 400-plus suppliers, we've built a simple working model to strengthen our economy. It's a proven fact. Made in America matters because China is a long drive to work. Shop online at MadeInAmericaStore.com or connect with us on Facebook.
Welcome back to GrizzNation. Scrape that Washington off your shoes, pull up a chair, and dial 855-98-GRIZZ to join the conversation with the Grizz.
Welcome back, folks. We are going to go immediately to Wayne's been holding for a while. Wayne, you got a question for Morry?
Yeah, thanks. It seems to me that we really don't have a policy to deal with ISIS, and I was wondering, what do you think the U.S. policy should be towards these terrorists?
Well, my policy is pretty straightforward and old-fashioned American, and what everybody would say, Wayne, that it's the cowboy way. I honestly believe that the simplest thing that you can do is when you run into the people that we got down in Cuba and Gitmo, I would have already had them tried one way or the other. And, you know, if we put them into a terrorist activity and they're convicted, then I would have plugged them. I wouldn't waste time on, an injection or anything else. I'd just do the Chinese way.
Well, Morry, this group has taken over half of Iraq and half of Syria. How can we eliminate them over there? We're bombing them, but it doesn't seem to be doing much good. They're still.
No, you can't bomb them. First thing.
Are you saying put troops on the ground?
Well, the first thing, they're terrorists over there. Okay, you have to look back and see the history of this country. When people turn around and you get a bunch of thugs, they're going to take things over. I don't want to be a world's policeman, no different than probably the majority of Americans don't want to be. But the problem you have is twofold. You don't start buying arms, you don't get all this stuff because you're a bad terrorist and you go rob somebody. Somebody's got money. Somebody is supporting them. Okay? And behind the scenes, it's real good for the media to get a few pictures and show everybody. But behind the scenes, somebody's giving them money. You start tracing the money. And they don't have, now I can appreciate they picked up an awful lot because we gave we rebuilt the Iraqi army, the same thing we did in Afghanistan. But you got to look at who's giving all this and where it goes. And you got to be tough and go after those people too. And that's the way I see it. If you don't, the fools that are running around with their guns and that, those people, I feel sorry for them, but their brains got short wires, and they're going to get the bullet. But it's a lot better to also find the people who are giving them the money, because the ones running around out there, they don't have no money. They're just a little bit in the local league, okay? And that's how you got to go after them. And we have the means to do it, but we have also so many people that have come up in our government and through the universities who think that by talking, we're going to talk to them. We want to study them. We want to do all this. We're not barbarians. We're going to study them. Well, it really comes down to a simple thing, folks. Like the American sniper. It's tough, but you have to understand. If you don't shoot them, they're going to shoot your wife and daughter and all the rest of your kids and everybody else. When you think about it that way, it's not real hard to pull the trigger. And you got to go after it to protect your own. That's how our country was founded. All of you that are listening right now, next time you have a chance, pick out our Declaration of Independence. And when you get a little book, I forget, Heritage or somebody sends it to you. In the next break, I'll get one to show you what it looks like. Look at the men's names that are listed. When they signed that document back in 1776, they signed it. It meant they were to be captured and shot. Their families, too. That took guts. That is what makes this country so special. And remember, our country was founded, the 13 colonies, their charters were almost 200 years prior to 1776. So, that's our heritage. And sometimes you get into a period of what you call belly soft, okay? And that's what we've been in. And the greatest generation, they have periods when you have these great parts of the generation. But I think our best is still ahead. We just, we've been in a funny period since Ronald Reagan, okay? That's the way to look at it, folks. It's been a funny little period. But I got a lot of faith in even though our youngsters coming up, they're all smart. I like to say some of them are lazy, but some of them aren't. So we're going to be okay. We just got to keep looking out. Trust me. What we got next? Hope I answered your question.
We're going to, I think this leads right into this whole topic of what Jordan did when they burned their pilot that they had captured.
Hey, Jordan.
Horrific act, by the way.
I think the king of Jordan and the people in that nation, I think they're a little bitty. They're one of the smallest ones over there. And, the thugs picked on them. And they humiliated them. So I think what's going to happen is, that's the beginning of their end. Okay? Obama can't even call a terrorist a terrorist. Hell, neither could Hillary. They would make up stories about the video setting. I mean, you think about it. How dumb can you be? Well, they think because the papers and the TV commentators, they just read. When you watch TV, they're reading it to you. All right? At least on CBS, NBC, and ABC. So, it's show business, folks. We've been electing... Ronald Reagan might have been the first one that actually worked out in the business. But everybody since then, it's show business. It's how you smile, how you talk, this little camera. So it's getting to be where we better just start picking somebody who knows what in the hell you have to do to straighten up a mess. The government's out of control. That's really what it is. But when you see what Jordan, the king didn't sit there and put his kingdom on. He came out in military fatigues. And he was in the special forces. And he does fly a helicopter. And he put the whole nation. They're going after him. Now, what's going to happen? If I was a betting man? Yep. King Obama will not like being shown up by that little guy. So he'll probably cut him off from getting some bombs, arms, or whatever.
Well,
that's
he's
what's
said that he doesn't think the world should overreact to these types of situations.
Yeah, well, that was when he was at his prayer meeting. I'm tired of listening to someone who doesn't have a clue. Yes, he is our president. Yes, he won 2 elections. A great country as great as ours we are allowed to make a mistake every few hundred years, okay? We'll live through it, okay? And that's what I think we're doing. I mean, there's no question him and his team, and it's a team. It's not one person. His team are really, really bad, okay? But, hey, he shows good on TV. He smiles.
Show business.
He talks. It's all that. If you want to keep buying that, he's got his wife, his 2 daughters. He's got great affection from them. But if you all know, ask him, what was his job? And by God, you got to have people who've been outside of government. You know, I try to tell people, hell, you could, they can't run something. Well, why in the hell are you going to run the biggest business in the world? I mean, look at what we've talked about. IRS is giving the money away. It's illegal. Illegal. I mean, this is all nuts. We're letting, and the president, he feels bad for them. They really want to come here and work, so I'm going to give them a work permit. But, I think you got people on the streets wanting to make more money. But how can you make more money? And what are you going to do? Oh, we're going to raise this. Folks, it don't work that way. You know? That's how commies tried to do it. You go broke.
Morry, we got an email from John in Grand Rapids, and he's got a question. He says, why are the labor unions supporting politicians that keep wanting to let in more illegal aliens?
Well, you know, that's the dumbest thing. I said this last week. Where the hell are all the union bosses? Everybody in America has to understand. Unions, your dues are taken and are used to pay Democrats. That's really what it is. That's where the money comes. So you would think they talk about being for the working men and women, middle America. That is BS, okay? You know, it is such a joke about what is taking place. So you have got to turn around and the working men and women, all people I talk to, you got to get on, start nailing these friggin' so-called politicians of the unions. They just sit there starstruck. It's like they've gone to Hollywood.
Go ahead to break.
Hi, I'm Mark Andel, owner of the Made in America store. Together, we can help grow our economy and create jobs for Americans by buying products made right here in the United States. Visit MadeInAmericaStore.com, featuring thousands of 100% American-made products from all American materials and labor. They are the highest quality products available. We've inspired a Buy American movement that is creating and saving American jobs every day and keeping our money here instead of sending it overseas. So are you tired of lip service? Let our government know what really matters to the American people. Creating jobs matters. Manufacturing matters. Made in America matters. After 4 years in business and countless jobs created through our 400-plus suppliers, we've built a simple working model to strengthen our economy. It's a proven fact. Made in America matters because China is a long drive to work. Shop online at MadeInAmericaStore.com or connect with us on Facebook.
The IRS is one of the most powerful entities in America. They can contact your employer, embarrass you, and take a large part of your paycheck. Your personal bank accounts can be levied, and your life turned upside down. If you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, Ameristar Tax Centers has a special free consultation just for you. With proven experience, our enrolled agents, previous IRS agents, know how to get you maximum results. Ameristar Tax Professionals are licensed to represent you before the IRS. We'll contact the IRS immediately for you, stop the collection activity, and get you instant help to relieve you from this burden. Our customer service record is unmatched, and you'll appreciate our low fees. We guarantee not to charge you a penny unless we can help, and you'll discover your tax relief options on the first free call. Call 800-281-9981, 800-281-9981. Don't wait. Call 800-281-9981, 800-281-9981.
No need to run around anymore searching for auto parts. At PartsMatrix.com, we do all the legwork for you, saving you time and money. And it couldn't be easier. When you send a request using our simple, secure online form, we get right to work searching our network to find OEM parts, aftermarket, refurbished parts and accessories, recycled auto parts, and more. We get back to you in a jiffy with the pricing and shipping options, too. Check out our website, PartsMatrix.com, for all the best parts at the best prices. PartsMatrix.com. Save money, drive happy.
Hi, I'm Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson. I want to make sure you know about the March of Dimes, March for Babies. This walk is really special to me. I was born with an APGAR score of 0, which is not an ideal way to start. Every day, babies start life the same way, with the odds stacked against them. Their first steps are made possible by ours, all of ours. Take the first step at marchforbabies.org. Let's walk together for stronger, healthier babies.
Are you tired of so-called experts telling you what to do all the time? You may be considering a mortgage to purchase or to refinance a home. Or if you're 62, you might be considering the government's reverse mortgage program. Well, don't believe everything you hear. Take your own action and call today for a free guide filled with up-to-date information on mortgages, home purchasing, renewing reverse mortgages, and credit restoration. The guides are free and full of facts you need to know. The Center for Sound Consumer Advice is dedicated to keeping you informed. Still the only consumer advocacy referral service in America where since 2004 there's never been a fee and never ever even one complaint. Call today for your free mortgage guide. Call 800-593-6405. That's 800-593-6405. Call today for your free mortgage guide. Again, that's 800-593-6405.
Welcome to GrizzNation with businessman Morry the Grizz Taylor. Think it's bad now? Here's the Grizz to drop some truth in Washington's punch bowl.
Welcome back, everybody. You got the Grizz here, and you got Ken here. And we were talking before we got off. There was a call coming in here, reference on the terrorists, and I think we've covered that pretty good, what I would do. But, you know, it's interesting if you think about how our media, you know, and everybody, you know, our media has always been controlled to a certain extent by a few people. And I'm leading up to, we talk about how they push for Obama and how this is so terrible. But let me tell you something. If you read the Constitution, you'll see what our forefathers went through with the Federalist Papers and everything, and how long it took them to decide what to do. And they wanted everything with the states. But big states, little states, they didn't want to be pushed around. That's why you have 2 senators from every state. But up until the early 1900s, folks, they were appointed by the state legislatures.
Yep.
They were not voted by the people. And the reason being is they didn't want those people to be a Republican or a Democrat. They wanted those people to be for that state. So the state would send their best people, hopefully, to the Senate. Now, some guy, business guy, tried to get New York, which is crooked as crooked can be, no different than, you know, Illinois and Chicago.
The speaker just went to jail up there, didn't he?
And, well, he ain't gone to jail, but they got him out. Anyhow, what happened, Randolph Hess decided it was a break for him. So he publicized this story. He wrote papers all over the country. And it was Randolph Hess, one of the richest guys at that time in the country, who knew he could go after politicians because of his paper and his power. And he got the amendment passed to let the people vote. And that's why, since that time, think about it. If you study any history, it's hard to find some real great senators. We've had a few, but not as like we had before.
Why
So,
don't we,
let's talk about when we get into my Grizz talk.
Growls, Kenya's been holding a long
Oh,
time.
the growls. We'll get my growls in a minute. But we're talking about the media. So, and this is about Brian Williams. Okay? Now, he made up a story. We got to finish up all of them. And it goes back to 2003. And he kept making the story a little bit more.
Better each time he told me.
Yeah. And so he goes a little more. But if you noticed, everybody, and then he gets on the news to make the apology. He didn't come forth with the right story then either. So, be simple about it. Who really gives a damn about it? He reads the news to you. Whatever's printed on there, he's going to read it to you. So,
well, do you think he's going to be able to withstand this? I mean,
they'll come up with something, and they'll figure out that they'll let him go on vacation for a week. Okay, as long as he's leading in the deals, they don't give a damn. But I'll tell you, if you want to do something, remember this: who owns NBC? Comcast. Comcast wants to buy another cable company. Yeah, and they're just pouring millions into Washington. Why? Because that way it only takes a while later, and 50 cents to all of you extra a month is good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what. If you don't like what you're seeing, simple. You see the ads for DirecTV or the Dish? Go satellite. Cancel them, go there. And call them up, tell them why.
Well, speaking of calling, Kenya's been holding for a long time. I know you want to get to the grouse.
Go ahead.
Kenya, are you still holding for us here?
Yes, I'm here.
Here you are. Go, my love.
Okay, my question is, if we continue to let these illegal immigrants into our country by the millions, where are us residents going to find good paying jobs?
Well, that's what... You got the point, my dear. It means that our standard of living as a country keeps coming down. We keep coming down farther and farther. And I believe that the Democrats have been for that for a long time, especially the far end. If you listen to, Hillary, Chuck Schumer, our current president, Biden, ask them all. If you go back and look there, when Obama was elected, they wanted $10 for a gallon of gas. They want all these things. And then it comes out, like I said earlier, he's already given 5.5 million illegal aliens work permits. And he's going to give another 5 with this amnesty. So what he's doing, and of course to fake everybody out, they changed the way unemployment's done. So if you're all been unemployed and you don't get an unemployment check, you're knocked off, then you're just out of the workforce. So if you reduce the workforce, then you turn around and you can say you got a low unemployment. But as this earlier in the show when we started off, we talked about Gallup, the CEO of Gallup, who does all these polls. They went through and checked all the numbers, and there's 30 million. Our unemployment in America right now is pushing around 11%. And you get down to some of the inner cities, it's 25. It's terrible. But the only thing you're going to do is right now you called me, and I'm saying to you, the power is within you. You just look up. It's in your telephone book. Look up where all your senators, your congressmen, look up on Google. Pick a few more out in surrounding states. Whip them off a text or whip them off an email. It just says you're fed up. You're fed up with this. And if they're Democrats, tell them you ain't never going to vote for them because of this, this, and this. And you're going to get out and personally campaign against them, even if you're going to move to a state and campaign them. I tell you what, you and a few other 100,000 people, you'll get their message to them real quick, dear, real quick.
Morry, we've been getting a lot of tweets and stuff, and number one topic today is the whole illegal alien issue. People are upset.
Well, they should be upset, and they should go back a long, long ways. And you keep hearing this, and the first thing is, and what I want everybody to understand, this is what politicians don't understand. Number one, you got to sit there and think about our own people, our Americans. I'm tired, and I've said this so many times, Afro-American, Asian American, Hispanic American. That's all a bunch of bullshit. We are either Americans or you're not Americans. When they put some other title, they're trying to classify you. Okay, that's all code to them. The way we do it, we're all in this big old chunk of land. We go to war, we fight. The women support the men, vice versa, every way. It's a team effort. We're all Americans. That's the way it is. And that's the way we got to look at things. And don't let them, if you look at our Constitution, the Census Bureau is only supposed to count us every 10 years. You see all the stuff you get from Central? By law, if you don't do this, what law is that? They're only supposed to the Constitution. They don't care. You look at the laws the regulatory agencies are doing, and they can come and arrest you. They've made these laws themselves. So, anyhow.
Well, Morry, we just got a few more minutes, less than a minute here before we're going to go. Why don't we wait and start with the growls when we get
back? The growls we're going to go. Wait till all you people out there, all you people, a few extra pounds, Gruber takes on tax the fat people. See you in a minute.
855-984-7499. Give us a call.
In addition to offering up his weekly dose of good old Grizz sense, Morry the Grizz Taylor doubles as CEO of Titan Tire, the world's largest farm tire manufacturer, producers of Goodyear and Titan farm tires. Morry wants all you farmers in GrizzNation to listen up. If you need to get into your field and it's all too wet, call 1-800-USA-BEAR or your Deere or Case IH dealer. Titan Tire is bringing new technology to farmers, and Titan's low sidewall technology means no more power hop or road low and less compaction. Say goodbye to the beach balls and same old tires from 20 to 30 years ago. It's time to welcome Goodyear LSW to your fields. Call your dealer or 1-800-USA-BEAR today to find out how you can save money and time this harvest. And tell them the Grizz sent you.
Hi, I'm Mark Andel, owner of the Made in America store. Together, we can help grow our economy and create jobs for Americans by buying products made right here in the United States. Visit MadeInAmericaStore.com, featuring thousands of 100% American-made products from all American materials and labor. They are the highest quality products available. We've inspired a Buy American movement that is creating and saving American jobs every day and keeping our money here instead of sending it overseas. So are you tired of lip service? Let our government know what really matters to the American people. Creating jobs matters. Manufacturing matters. Made in America matters. After 4 years in business and countless jobs created through our 400-plus suppliers, we've built a simple working model to strengthen our economy. It's a proven fact. Made in America matters because China is a long drive to work. Shop online at MadeInAmericaStore.com or connect with us on Facebook.
You're listening to GrizzNation with Morry the Grizz Taylor. Dial 855-98-GRIZZ to join in on Common Sense Talk Radio, coming right at you in 3, 2, and 1.
You got the Grizz here, Morry Taylor. Now, we went to break. I told you, Gruber, he's the MIT professor, the father of Obamacare. He's made millions, all right? And we talked about this before. Not in the U.S. media, but in Europe, they did a study. Obamacare is going to cost all of us $50,000 a year. Folks, yeah, it's going to bankrupt everything. Now, but let's get back to this Professor Gruber. Now, he, besides doing Obamacare, he wants to tax fat people. Now, when I seen him, I'm going to lose a few pounds because my knees hurt. So that means, body's telling me.
You've already lost a few.
I got a few more to go. But anyhow, he wants to address the problem head on. Obesity. He wants to have direct taxes on body weight. He wrote this in 2010. This is what you get, folks, when you have the government running health care. And he's also the guy that said you're too stupid to understand Obamacare. Now he thinks you're too fat, or the fat people, obesity, you're going to pay. So now all you people that are overweight, I mean, when you look at your ribs, you can't see them. You're fat, okay? He's going to sit there and he's going to have... This is Obama's deal. Now I figured out why he wants to bring all the illegal immigrants in. He needs them to run around and check us. See how fat we are. And then our taxes, your fat people's tax, will help pay for all the illegal immigrants.
I thought he'd send the IRS around to weigh us.
Well, now the IRS has got problems because all the people hired for IRS, they're too busy calculating how much to give to the illegal immigrants.
Well, that's true.
So they need more money, which they always do, because you see, they don't have any idea except they go look at a printing press. But think about that, folks. And so for all you people that are a little bit overweight, remember, not one Republican voted for this guy, okay? Not one. So I think it's kind of funny that Democrats are coming to get the fat people. All right.
Okay. If you've got an opinion about this, I want you to give us a call at 855-984-7499 or send us a tweet. We're watching our tweets come in here regularly, and we thank you for those tweets.
All right.
Next up, Morry.
Number 2, we got...
He's out of his chair.
The lunch ladies are taking on First Lady Michelle Obama.
Lunch ladies? You mean those women with little white aprons?
Yep, in high school, and grade school, everything. The little ladies with the white aprons, hairnets at your school lunchrooms. Remember those people? Those nice ladies? Well, they're taking on Michelle Obama, and they say her elitist idea. Now, she was never raised an elitist. I guess that's when she went up to Harvard. They screwed her up. Anyhow, they want the federal government deciding what your kids should eat. The School Nutrition Association, this is all the schools around the country, which represents 55,000 of the lunch ladies.
That's a lot of lunch
wants Congress to make dramatic changes to Michelle's dreamy lunch demands. In its 2015 position paper, the lunch ladies say, and I'll quote, "Thanks to Michelle's lunch program, 1.4 million fewer students choose school lunch each day, opting out for the junk food instead. Only half of the school meat meal operators expect to break even. In other words, the costs have skyrocketed. Half will lose money and will have to be subsidized by money. You pay the money to educate? Oh, damn it. You're going to have to lay off more teachers because we got to spend more money over here because the food's rotten.
So, Morry, what they're saying is the lunch ladies are saying they're not eating it. It's costing us a whole bunch more to prepare it. And then we have to end up throwing it away, I guess.
It cost last year $1.2 billion. Billion, not million, billion. Think about how many kids you could feed, but they just threw it away. Now, by the way, this is what I love about elitists. See, private schools, they don't have to participate, folks. Guess where the two Obama girls go to school? Private. Jeez, most elitists, they don't go to public schools. They go to private schools. Remember what Goober said? They really, really think you're too stupid. That reminds me of Hillary. Hillary's great quote one time was, the American public, they don't know what they want. I do. I'll give it to them. Yeah. I wish you'd had that attitude with Bill. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can get going on that. Remember when she was Clinton was running for the first, and she did her 60-minute interview, and they asked her about Jennifer Flowers, and it wasn't true because she wouldn't stand by her man if he did that. My God. I wonder, it's quite obvious she never believed any of the evidence. I guess she believed his testimony when he said, it depends what the meeting is. Okay? Anyhow, the next one, number 3. Liberals say crime does pay. Portland, Oregon. Oh, man. How come we get so many wacko things out in Oregon? The mayor, Charles Hayes, recently announced that the city would pay employers $5,000 for each felon they hired. You know, the governor's in trouble out there, too. They're talking about, they want him to resign, but impeach. That's got to do with something about his new fiancée.
Oh, really?
That was not, yeah, something about.
I missed that.
Yeah, he forgot to tell a few things that paying $1,000. Whole thing out there, Oregon. You've been out there. It's in the water out there. Anyhow, this is on top of the $2,500 federal tax credit businesses have been long getting to hire felons. Many cities and counties and state governments are banning the box. You have to check if you've been previously convicted. They want to know. Well, now they're going to not do that, where you don't have to admit you've been convicted of a felon on your application. I'm in total favor of second chances. But why would you give special bonuses? You know, that's really bad. You're giving business money,
tax dollars,
to turn around and hire a felon over a guy or woman that's not tried to, as they say, cheat or something. It's really terrible. And, you know, what about the single mothers? You'd think 5,000 child care credit would go a long way.
Sure would.
They wanted a job. What about the people who are giving up looking for a job? Hey, you get a job, we'll give the guy $5,000 to help you. A little tax credit might entice them back in the workforce. What about families with children that are scraping by? Do they deserve an incentive to maybe get a better job? No, the politically correct elitists say let's put convicted felons at the front line. You know, give me a break. And now you wonder why we ain't got no jobs? You already know why. Obama's going to bring, he's already did 5.5 million illegal aliens, giving them work cards.
Okay, Morry. Bill from New Jersey has a comment about your buddy, Mr. Gruber. He said, when I was in boot camp while in the Marines, we ate 5,000 calories per day, and I was still hungry when I woke up at 5 a.m.
The only good thing about waking up at 5 a.m., you know, you got to do a little exercise, you got to go to the bathroom, and then it's chow. You know, I appreciate. I was in the Army. I wasn't in the Marines. The Navy boys always had better accommodations than you poor guys in the Marines. So my dad told me if I ever do it again, go Navy or go Air Force. They always had a little bit nicer than you guys or the poor dirt rats, grunts that we were in the Army. But anyhow, thank you for your service. I don't know what to say about it, you know. I mean, Gruber.
Well, I mean,
elitists are never in the service, okay? Very few ever get in. That's the only thing I could say to him. And, of course, that's why Brian Williams, he admits he wasn't in the service. It's just so that they think that they know everything.
But he got shot down.
Yeah, but that was probably by some woman. Okay.
Yeah, I think he arrived a bit later after the copter was shot down.
All right.
Well, we got just a few seconds. You got
number 4. Whether we won't get into it before we get off quick break, but it's official, folks. $16.6 billion is what your president gave to the auto workers in Detroit. And since I'm born and raised in Detroit, I'll give you the real inside scoop.
We'll be right back.
Give us a call.
Hi, I'm Mark Andel, owner of the Made in America store. Together, we can help grow our economy and create jobs for Americans by buying products made right here in the United States. Visit MadeInAmericaStore.com, featuring thousands of 100% American-made products from all American materials and labor. They are the highest quality products available. We've inspired a Buy American movement that is creating and saving American jobs every day and keeping our money here instead of sending it overseas. So are you tired of lip service? Let our government know what really matters to the American people. Creating jobs matters. Manufacturing matters. Made in America matters. After 4 years in business and countless jobs created through our 400-plus suppliers, we've built a simple working model to strengthen our economy. It's a proven fact. Made in America matters because China is a long drive to work. Shop online at MadeInAmericaStore.com or connect with us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Julie Bowen, asking you to walk with me in March for Babies. Too many children in our country are being born prematurely or with birth defects. They have to fight to survive every day, but you can make a difference. Your steps in March for Babies can help them take their first steps. Visit marchforbabies.org to start your team and raise money to ensure that babies are born healthy. Let's walk together for stronger, healthier babies.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Welcome back to GrizzNation. No Bull Talk Radio with Morry, the Grizz Taylor. Dial 855-98-GRIZZ to join in. Stand by for the Grizz.
Welcome back, everybody. Just before we went on a break, we had our number 4. And my Grizz growls, things that really kind of tick me off. But you know how the president has hailed that one of the shining moments of his presidency is saving automotive manufacturing.
I've heard it over and over again. That was his big achievement.
Well, at the end of 2014, Obama stated effectively today, our rescue of the auto industry is officially over. We repaid the taxpayers every dime and more of what my administration committed. You know, it's just like Obamacare, folks. You want your doctor? You can keep them. You like your insurance? You can keep it. I mean, the man just loves a camera, and what comes out, if you want to believe it, then you are like Gruber would say, who did Obamacare, you're stupid. First thing, let's not go real fast. Let's tell you what it is. It completely ignores the $17.4 billion that Bush had already promised GM and Chrysler December of 08. You know,
that's right. Before Obama took office.
Yeah. So, but Obama agreed with it, okay? Because Bush wasn't going to do it unless he said it. Now, according to TARP, the Special Inspector General, the taxpayers spent a total of $79.7 billion bailing out GM, Chrysler, and Alley Financial. Well, Alley Financial was owned by GM. That was their finance arm.
Absolutely.
And they received $63.1 billion back, or they wrote off $16.6 billion. The biggest loss came from the GM investment. Now, that's where Obama favored the unions over the bondholders. But here's what's wrong. I'm from Detroit. My first job out of college as an engineer was GM.
Was it really?
But here's the problem. You see, the auto workers had a monopoly. They had a monopoly because whether it was GM, Ford, or Chrysler, they would pick one of the three, and then if they got all this, then everybody else had to either match it or make it sweeter. Or they'd shut them off. They'd shut them down. Now, that's called a monopoly. You can't do that in business. But what's happened is you got all the rest of the manufacturers. And you want to thank somebody for why they're here in the U.S.? Thank Ronald Reagan. Okay? No Democrats. What Obama should have done, if he thought about making a strong automotive, is simple. Okay, auto workers, you don't have a monopoly anymore. You handle Ford. Chrysler, you're getting the Teamsters. And GM, you can have the steel workers. You see, folks, those are three different industrial unions. And the big thing is, they then could not shut down the industry. They would be interested in making things better. Yeah, they want better wages and that, better things. But they're not going to be stupid. The UAW was stupid. Now, you ever think that's why? And it's the rules. They have to pay people walking all around doing nothing. You don't have that at those other automotive plants that are paying the same wages. Yeah. I can tell you how. But you, America, we paid $16.6 billion. Why? Well, mainly because the dues, but the dues would still go to the Democrats. the steelworkers. That's why more people are figuring out, well, I'm going to pay dues. So pretty soon the only dues you got are from the other. But that's his true story.
What does it say about our president that his shining number one achievement is a $16 billion loss?
He can't count. Now, and then, we tell you, we're not politically correct. So I guess this is one reason you would not hear this on your normal media. But listen to this. Officials for the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, recently testified. This is so stupid it's pathetic, okay? They testified that transgender illegals are guaranteed the right to a hormone treatment. He went on to say the immigration officials were very vigilant on making certain these transgender illegal immigrants, now remember the word, illegal. They're not supposed to be here, okay? Receive whatever necessary hormone treatment. If that's not enough, the Federal Immigration Manual also states that these transgender illegals have access to the mental health care and other translated health care medication. I'm sure all you taxpayers, legal American citizens, are thrilled at the use of your taxpayer dollars. Okay?
So we're
now,
helping these
what the hell?
transgender people.
Yeah. You want me to know you what I would do? They're here illegal? I'd put them in the same container, same, what do you call it? Barge that I'd haul Gitmo people back to wherever they came from.
Well, Morry, we got a call from James in North Carolina. James, are you?
How you doing, James?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Is there any way to get rid of Obamacare while Obama is in office? I think he's going to veto any attempt to modify or repeal Obamacare.
Well, I actually do believe there's a way, and you gotta stop. And he has never read the damn thing. So what the Republicans should do, they should call it adjustments to Obamacare. What the American public, by big numbers, all agrees, you should have portability. Okay, if you go from one state to the other, you should be able to carry your insurance with you. If you lose your job, you should have the right to pick up and carry that insurance, etc. Now, the problem most people don't understand, and if you had a pre-existing condition, they can't just wipe your ass off, okay? So, but what they got to do is they got to take and understand. You got 50 states. All 50 states have their own insurance czar. And they make up their own rules. They have their own medical. They have their own license. They have everything. So that is what costs and screws up the states. So I think they should come up with like various different plans to cover. And one of them covers everything. Let's just call that the super whoopee-doo plan. Okay? That's what all the GM workers used to have. Now, that's going to have a number. But what you do then is you have to have them for every 50 states because all states are different to a certain degree. But the feds can trump it. So I would call that, I would come up with these plans, and there would be nothing with the federal government involvement. It's just that the insurance industry now would have the choice to go after these. But this is what you would put out there. And then you drop this, that you have to everybody, because there's a bunch of people who don't want to have any of it, good, bad, or indifferent, or whatever their reasoning be. There's a lot of religious into this too. But these plans would all have to be available, and insurance companies you set to premier and let it be, but still call it the updated Obamacare. All right? And it replaces, the goober, stupid American plan. If they did that, I actually think he'd sign the sucker and don't call it the Affordable Care Act. I would call it Obama's Affordable Care Act. Let the sucker have some credit for it and do it. I mean, that's the way I would see that you would have to go about it. And the only way I know how to do it. Otherwise, you got to wait till he gets the hell out of there. And, in between, there's another challenges that basically do away with it.
So you think maybe the courts are going to throw it out?
I think he's going to lose this next battle in the court. But I do believe if you could create this thing, it would do it. But you're never going to get. People have to understand. Behind the scenes, congressmen, congresswomen, senators, men and women, they don't write none of this crap. They got all these young college staffers. You got staffers that at one moment they spent 15 years working for the most liberal friggin' whoever knows what.
What about the lobbyists?
And then they move over. Yeah, and they're going off to the lobbyists. There's 40,000 lobbyists in that friggin' city. People are talking about Obamacare because you see it. It affects everybody. And I'm telling you what you got to do. And then, because you asked me the question. But eventually, the way you got to get this done is run it back into the states. You got states that are so bad. And in fact, I'll tell you right now, at Titan in Illinois, we've hired a company, and we're following another private company, Napide, in Quincy, Illinois. They're up probably getting close to 1,000 people.
Maury, I think we're fixing to go to break here.
Well, anyhow, they put their own clinic in, and their employees then get everything free if they go to the clinic.
Hi, I'm Mark Andel, owner of the Made in America store. Together, we can help grow our economy and create jobs for Americans by buying products made right here in the United States. Visit MadeInAmericaStore.com, featuring thousands of 100% American-made products from all American materials and labor. They are the highest quality products available. We've inspired a Buy American movement that is creating and saving American jobs every day and keeping our money here instead of sending it overseas. So are you tired of lip service? Let our government know what really matters to the American people. Creating jobs matters. Manufacturing matters. Made in America matters. After 4 years in business and countless jobs created through our 400-plus suppliers, we've built a simple working model to strengthen our economy. It's a proven fact. Made in America matters because China is a long drive to work. Shop online at MadeInAmericaStore.com or connect with us on Facebook.
In addition to offering up his weekly dose of good old Grizz sense, Morry the Grizz Taylor doubles as CEO of Titan Tire, the world's largest farm tire manufacturer, producers of Goodyear and Titan farm tires. Morry wants all you farmers in GrizzNation to listen up. If you need to get into your field and it's all too wet, call 1-800-USA-BEAR or your Deere or Case IH dealer. Titan Tire is bringing new technology to farmers, and Titan's low sidewall technology means no more power hop or road low and less compaction. Say goodbye to the beach balls and same old tires from 20 to 30 years ago. It's time to welcome Goodyear LSW to your fields. Call your dealer or 1-800-USA-BEAR today to find out how you can save money and time this harvest. And tell them the Grizz sent you.
Welcome back to GrizzNation. Not safe for work if you're a bureaucrat. Dial 855-98-GRIZZ to talk with Morry Taylor, the Grizz.
Welcome back to GrizzNation. I'm Ken Walton with Morry Taylor, the CEO of Titan International.
Now, before we get to that email that the fellow sent in there from Iowa, I want to just cover the last question that was asked in reference to the Obamacare net. And I mentioned in Quincy and Nephi, and they've got for their employees, they've went through and have a clinic. And actually, Titan, we're doing the first one in Quincy.
So your company's doing
We're going to
this as
do
well.
the same thing. We're following what they've done, where you have a doctor. There's probably, I believe, a nurse practitioner, where your employees can go there, and for all their health needs, he can help them if they need surgery or something. Recommend certain doctors to go to, and they'll take care of all that. The medicine they can get, they actually can pick it up. And where under our normal insurance policy, there's various co-pays when you go to the doctor and you go to get your pills and everything. But we have been able, with this company that offers their service, where it's going to reduce the cost. And it reduces the cost to our employees substantially. So, of course, you only take your employees and family members. So, and I think you're going to see more and more of that. But the big problem is a lot of states won't let you do this. So you got to understand, folks, there's so many lobbyists that lobby against everything because it's got to do with money. Now, you got another caller.
Well, I got 2 emails that have come in. Like, as you mentioned, John from Iowa. This will probably be near and dear to your heart with the taxes Titan pays. But he says, why should companies pay income tax when the incomes that they create are taxed already?
Well, the first thing is, politicians are always going to tax everything they can. Okay? That's just the way it is, folks. So they're going to tax you on the income you make while you're alive, and when you're dead, they're going to tax it to go to the next guy. Just never, ever, ever let them get you with this false value added tax. That is just, look at Canada. You go around the world, you look at it, and you wonder, oh man, we just bought that for $1,700. Why is it $3,000 in Brazil? Value added taxes. Okay. Now, what happens is this. I gave I wrote an op page what income taxes for workers should be and what companies. Companies, there's 2 types. There's private company and there's public companies. The private should be the same tax as what the owner or collective owners, what they pay, because they can just take the money right into them. No problem. And I think my top was like 25%. So that's if you make, I believe, over 150 or 250,000. Now, for a public company, which is like Titan, we should be allowed to take 50% of our profit and deduct that, but pay that in a dividend out to all your shareholders, because the government's going to tax you. Government's still going to get the tax, but it enhances companies that make money to pay it out. Those $2 trillion you see floating all over the world? Yeah. Now, what's so stupid, but they got the muscle, Apple is borrowing the money in the market, in bonds, taking that money and paying out dividends. what they do is they're paying their taxes so they get to deduct that off. That's just stupid. And that's what these private equities, it's stupid. Financially, it's not stupid for what they're doing. It's stupid our tax policy is that way. Then the other 50%, I think they should pay a maximum of 20%. That's the maximum tax you charge a public company. You entice
That'd be a
them
substantial
to
cut.
get rid of the other and pay 20%. That leaves them 30% of what they made to throw back into their business. And of course, if they lose money, they can't do either one of the two.
Absolutely. Bill from New Jersey wants to weigh in on Obamacare. He says if Obamacare loses this next round at the Supreme Court, lots of people will lose their supplements from the government and their new costs will rise dramatically. Then you will see the collapse of Obamacare.
I think he's correct, and I've stated that. But what I do believe is that the politicians have to address something from the federal level of portability and, call it 5 various plans. Because what happens is you can't have somebody, I understand the cost in New York City is much higher than the cost it is in upper New York or the cost in Mississippi or Alabama. So one plan doesn't fit all. And it doesn't fit state by state. But you've got all these state insurance bureaus that govern each state. And under our Constitution, only the feds can trump it. So in taking all that, but you don't want it to go federal, because if it goes federal, you got a bigger bureaucracy, it just screws it up. So we're going to keep it state level, but with a certain few rules. And that's what I believe. And I'd write the damn plan if they somebody wants, some congressman, they really don't want to listen to this, and I make too much sense. So, but trust me, you could write this. Keep the insurance companies out of it. Keep the drug companies out of it. Put some just friggin' good business sense. I have to laugh, in the Fortune 500, manufacturing companies try to make a single-digit profit.
So what you're saying is less than 10%.
And you want high tech? They're making 80% margins.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how dumb you can be and get away with that? Only one's dumber? Government. What else we got? Got any other questions there?
No, we're
all right. So we're going to get a little commentary for the next few minutes. Next week, we're coming to you. We're packing up, and I'm going out to the den of wildness, San Francisco. Actually, I got to be out there for a very good friend. His son is getting married. He's got 3 kids. That's his first one. And hell, he's older than I am. So I have to go. But we're going to be on, and we're going to do it from San Francisco.
I wish I was able to join you, but I'm going to be in Washington that week. So.
I know. I don't know. Who's going to sit in for you?
Bill Kenyon.
Oh, Wild Bill Kenyon. The stories I can tell you about my buddy, Mr.
I'm not
Kenyon.
sure that's even suitable for a podcast.
I wonder why he doesn't send Hollywood Fred up,
Yeah, we ought to get
I probably Fred. Or I probably should call my friend Michael Lewis, And, all you out there, I'm an old guy, but 20 years ago, I played racquetball with Michael Lewis. And because I was like 51, 52, he was in his 30s. He just thought he was going to whip this old man. He wrote a book. He said in the book, he told the truth. I think I whipped him 15-1, 15-0.
15-1?
Yeah, 0. I was just laughing my fanny off, running him all over that track. Now, He's my age.
Now, what do you mean?
No, my age that I was then. He's like 51
okay.
now, 51, 52. And you know, I could probably whip his fanny right now. Oh yeah. It's mine over youth. Okay.
I understand.
No, he's a pretty good jock. He's got 3 kids. He's out there living in the land of all the liberal thinking. But you see, his smartest move was his wife. 7. She's smart. Okay. She was raised. Her father was in the military, so she traveled all over. And they got 3 kids, but otherwise, you know, he'd be so elitist. And he did get to ride on Air Force One with Obama.
Did he really?
Yeah, I got to go rib him. Yeah, I
bet you're going to.
Yeah, he played a little basketball with him. I don't know what the hell for. He's skinny and he's not that tall, you know. So he's probably been playing with his son. So thought he could do some pretty good. But we got a big week out there next week. Look forward to seeing all of you out there. And then the following week we're going, I believe, international. We got to check on that. I have to be up in Quebec City.
Oh, do you?
My daughter's in fear because she looked and it was 21 below up there. Canadians do get some cold climate and they do get a lot of snow. But my young little grandson, Matthew, he plays on the Pee Wee Hurricanes, and they got a Wayne Gretzky's going to throw the puck out.
All right.
So it's a big thing, and Grandma's going to be up there, so Grandpa's got to go there. All right. I know it's going to be cold as hell, you know, and I hate getting cold.
Well, Morry, I've really enjoyed doing these last 3 shows with you, and I'm going to take a week out and go to the La La Land of Washington, D.C. next weekend. Bill will be filling in, and I'll be back with you wherever we're going to be.
Oh, well, you might be up in Quebec. You got a passport?
Yeah, I'm going to have to get one, I guess.
You're going to have a passport to get in Canada. Well, you don't need a passport to get in Canada. You got to get a passport to get back in the U.S.
Makes perfect sense.
You could be legal, and they're not going to let your fanny in, okay? I mean, that's really goofy, right? You know?
They won't even let me
We're not letting illegals back in, you know? You leave, you got to come back illegal. Folks, we appreciate all your calls. We appreciate the emails. We like the banner a little bit. And with that, I think we're pretty well ready to wrap this up, aren't we?
Yep. See you next week.
See you next week. Thanks, everybody. Have a great, safe holiday. Bye-bye.